Kuna mweya muchene wababa. Ndizvo ere izvi? Ona ndizvo ere? Ndizvo ere? Kunzisokomurewa. Ndizvo ere? Kunzisokomurewa. Asi ndizvo ere kunzisokomurewa nai? Ngapinda hake mkomana. Chemkwanda, Bwanji, how are you, my brother? I'm trying to nasi ndamboda kuti nditi kasirei kuuya 8:30 kuti tikasirei kupinda nai. Welcome you all guys tonight, where we are discussing issues that are affecting our country, Zimbabwe. Right, today I've got a different type of presentation that I want to make. This presentation is looking at 𝗶𝗶C, which I believe is the pioneer of pure democracy in our country. Kenny Mawiri, ngapinda ake mkomana. Charles Konzo, ngapinda ake mkomana. We are a very lucky nation where we find youth or youthful leaders participating in our political system or in our political process. Ngapinda ake mskana mkomana. Philip Mambanga, Joshua, how are you? I am well. Ngapinda ake mkomana. Ndo greeting edu. Ngapinda ake mkomana. Ngapinda ake mkomana. Ngapinde. Atete Flow, welcome. Emmanuel Nyashimbo, welcome. Ngapinda ake mkomana. Ngapinde. So Zimbabwe is one of the luckiest countries in the world. There are quite a lot of things that I've considered to come up to say we are probably the luckiest country in the world where there is emergence or participation of youthful leaders in the political system. We lack probably is the maturity and tolerant politics in our country. The maturity and tolerant politics in our country, the lack of that maturity and tolerant politics has even seen our country struggling. That's why I'm the long time this is of voice radio. Muri saying ngapinda ake mkomana. Thank you so much. Mkoma weli ngapinda ake mkomana. Atete Virginia Tom, how are you? Ngapinda ake mkomana. Thank you so much. Today's topic is a bit different because I want to look into democracy. Why I want to look into democracy? I've seen a form drafted by 𝗶𝗶C leadership that they are utilizing that form to make sure that the people of Zimbabwe select candidates of their choice. By so doing, let me congratulate the president of 𝗶𝗶C, Baba or Advocate Nelson Chamisa. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate you for being the pioneer of pure democracy in our country. I know a lot of people did not know this, that you are the pioneer of pure democracy in our country. Mkoma Sidin, Mpoperi, long time. Mkoma Yuda, how are you? Ngapinda ake mkomana. Edindevele, ngapinda ake mkomana. Koseiva siri kutaura zuwa rema elections, pane nyaya, ngapinda ake mkomana. Nyaya iripo, trust mtombeni, iripo nyaya. So, those who are just coming in, my name is 𝗑𝗵𝗺𝗿. Today I'm looking at 𝗶𝗶C as the introduction of pure democracy in our country. I've looked critically at the form that was posted by Jonathan Moyo, criticizing the elements of that form which was drafted by our leadership to say, at least this is a way we can let the citizens of a country participate in choosing their representatives. To me, when I looked at that form, there is totally nothing wrong with that form. We are a different political party. 𝗶𝗶𝗺 is different from ZANU-PF, is different from ZAP, is different from MDC, is different from any other political party. And 𝗶𝗶𝗺 has got right to initiate its political process, a different political process from ZANU-PF. Remember, when we were growing up, we used to see ZANU-PF people attending their meetings. The way they were selecting their candidates, they were raising hands. If you still remember, people of my age saw it. When ZANU-PF people gather to select leadership, they used to raise their hands and they used to count the votes there and there. We have got two candidates. We have got 𝗗𝗲𝗺𝗋𝗃 and we've got 𝗭𝗶𝗺𝗺𝗰𝗆. Right, those who, then they'll say, you two candidates, go outside. You go out. Then they'll ask the majority. Right, we have got 𝗗𝗲𝗺𝗋𝗃 and 𝗭𝗶𝗺𝗺𝗃. These are our two candidates for the post of chairman. Right, those who vote 𝗗𝗲𝗺, raise your hands. Then people will raise their hands. Those who will be doing the election or conducting the election, they will be counting the raised hands. Then 𝗗𝗲𝗺's votes are probably 54. Then those who want to vote for 𝗭𝗶𝗺𝗺𝗃, raise your hands. People will raise their hands. Then they will say 1, 2, 3, 4, counting those hands. Then they will say 34 people want 𝗭𝗶𝗺𝗺𝗃 to be chairman. So 𝗗𝗲𝗺, then the two candidates are called in. Come in, guys. Then here are our results. 𝗗𝗲𝗺 has got 54 votes and the 𝗭𝗶𝗺𝗺𝗃 has got 34 votes. So our chairperson is 𝗗𝗲𝗺. Those people who grew up in ZANU-PF, those people who grew seeing ZANU-PF political system, this was their system. They used to raise, they didn't use this secret ballot paper for voting for their candidates, even their parliamentary candidates. You understand? So we never criticized ZANU-PF for doing that. Surprisingly, I am finding ZANU-PF people criticizing 𝗶𝗶𝗺 for using a form that was almost similar to raising people's hands to choose or select representatives who are going to take part in a harmonized election. Ngapinda ake mkomana Stanford mndozi ngapinda ake mkomana atete Florence Nyamwanza ngapinda ake mkomana. So if you are a true Democrat, supporter of pure democracy, go and look again at that form which was drafted by the senior leadership to say, this is the criteria that we want the citizens to elect or to select candidates of their choice. That form represents a process we call pure democracy in the world. And let me say, 𝗵𝗶𝗺𝗃𝗃, how are you? Let me say to President Nelson Chamisa and your leadership, congratulations for coming up with that idea. It's something that has never been done in Zimbabwe. You are the pioneer of pure democracy. That is what we call pure democracy. So President Nelson Chamisa and his leadership have come up with a very clear idea of how candidates are going to be selected to represent the citizens in our country. I am going to explain much about pure democracy. I'm going to take you through some lessons of democracy so that people understand. Those who are critical of the process, it's unfortunate that they think 𝗶𝗶𝗺 should operate in a similar way like ZANU-PF. Atete Max do say hi and Jirira. watching from Rosenberg, South Africa, Mgoma Yuda, ngapinde ake mkumana, ngapinde. So critics of that criteria are ZANU-PF people. And these ZANU-PF people, they want 𝗵𝗶𝗇 to conduct its politics in a similar way ZANU-PF is conducting its politics. If we follow what ZANU-PF is doing, then we are not an independent, we are not a democratic political party. What ZANU-PF does is got totally nothing to do with the democracy. So we don't want to follow undemocratic principles and democratic processes that are done by ZANU-PF. We are a different political party. Hands off 𝗵𝗶𝗇 Mazanu. Well done. Congratulations, President Nelson Chamisa. Congratulations to the leadership of 𝗵𝗶𝗇. This is clean, pure democracy. Thank you, Mundozi. True, I can agree very well. So to me, I'm going to analyze that. I am going to talk, to give lessons to ZANU-PF people to understand what democracy is. It is a very old part, with people who do not understand what we call democracy. So I am going to teach ZANU-PF people democracy. I wish people could tag Professor Jonathan Moyo on this platform, on this presentation. I am going to lecture to the professor what democracy is. I know he wants people to follow what he thinks is democracy. Unfortunately, Professor Jonathan Moyo does not know what democracy is. He grew up in a system, in a ZANU-PF system, which do not respect democracy. The word democracy on its own. He even doesn't understand the word democracy. I saw he marked a lot of paragraphs, a lot of sentences, a lot of whatever headings he was marking, asking people, what is this, what is that? It's a new system that he has never seen. As a professor himself, he has never seen this system anywhere. You understand? So for him to mark and say, this is not correct, this is wrong, this is what, you cannot mark a system that you have never come across in your life. The rest of professor's life has never come across such a form. So that he can mark and tell Zimbabweans that this is not pure, this is not right, this is wrong. You can't do that. You can't do that. That is not what we call critical analysis of that form. If you look at that form, it's drafted in a simple manner, in a simple way that can allow citizens of a country to choose their representatives. Yes, I think, unfortunately, I don't have him as a friend, but those who have got Jonathan Moyo as a friend, please, can you tag him here? And I want also people like Joy Charamba to be tagged on this presentation. I am going to teach them today. I am going to utilize my teaching skills to teach them what democracy is all about. So it's unfortunate that we have got a professor who is not well informed about these processes. It's unfortunate that we have got public servants like Nick Mangwana, like Joy Charamba, who runs the information department of ZANU-PF and government, but with little understanding of this process we call democracy. So today I've taken it upon myself to say, let me give them a little bit of lecture, a small lecture about what democracy is all about. What we have seen 𝗵𝗶𝗇 initiating, this is what we call pure democracy. It's probably above what we think democracy is. That is clean, pure democracy. And that form was designed in a very simple way to allow citizens to choose their representatives. The problem at Florence is ZANU-PF. It's a political party that has never realized or recognized democracy. So they want every political party, opposition, whatever party formed in our country, to follow their systems. This is the mistake that we did with Morgan Tsvangirai. When we had Tsvangirai as our leader, during our time in MDC, we made a lot of blunders. We made a lot of faults because we wanted our democrats to follow a ZANU-PF system of doing things, or a way of doing things. This is why you see today MDC is dead. MDC died because it wanted to follow ZANU-PF way of doing things. So we are learning from our previous mistakes when we were in MDC. We made a lot of blunders, and that blunders costed the party. Today you can tell that the party has got no clear leadership. Snatched by Douglas Monzora, snatched by Thokozani Kupe, snatched by Marara, snatched by people who are irrelevant in politics, are fighting to control that party. It's because the blunders we made there are the blunders we can rectify now today in 𝗶𝗶𝗇. So 𝗶𝗶𝗇 is bringing something we call clean, pure democracy to the people of Zimbabwe. We cannot, if 𝗶𝗶𝗇 was going to run its businesses in a similar way ZANU-PF is run, then there is no point of having an opposition in our country. Tainus Idlela, how are you? Driora, please. Tata, putsa diriora iro. Vano garam diriora re banje. Vano garam diriora iro. Vano garam diriora re banje. Vano garam vako mana. Vano garam diriora re banje. Vano garam musa tambe navo. Vano garam diriora re banje. Vano garam diriora vako mana. Dirora rembanje vano garam dirora iro vano garam dirora rembanje vano garam vako mana vano garam dirora rembanje vano garam dirora vako mana. Ayayaya, asi unovudzwa kutapirirwa, unovudzwa kupinda mudhe kuti rega ndivadzidzise vanhu vezanu, vana Jonathan Moyo, vana Zenda, uyai pano. Vanaponela ndokudanai nhasi, uyai pano ndikudzidzisei politics. Today I'm going to teach ZANU-PF people politics that they've never had in their lives. Ndoda kuticha Professor Jonathan Moyo politics. Ndoda kuticha Douglas Monzora politics. Ndoda kuticha Varakashi politics today. Because that form which is being condemned by ZANU-PF people, they've never seen it anywhere. They've never seen a similar copy or a copy of it or a similar form in any country, not even in America, not even in China, but they've seen it in Zimbabwe 2023. Azipachi vachitadza kuti isusu tisarudze vanhu vatinoda pamamiriro. Exactly, Vusa. So this is now 𝗶𝗶𝗇 has given you opportunity. They've given you all the opportunity to say the democrats that we want. No, it's sleeping upstairs. They are saying the democrats that we want is let the citizens lead the process. This has never happened in ZANU-PF. Never happened in ZANU-PF. Never happened in Zambia. Never happened in South Africa. Never happened anywhere in Africa. What you are seeing 𝗶𝗶𝗇 initiating. This will strengthen 𝗶𝗶𝗇 as a political party. This will strengthen the political culture of 𝗶𝗶𝗇 people. Citizens of Zimbabwe, your political culture is being strengthened by President Nelson Chamisa. This will give the sovereignty of parliament and other statutories. What I'm saying here is the sovereignty of parliament will be strengthened as well. The power to make laws in our country. Because these are your representatives, the people you chose, not the people who were chosen by the elite and say, Mashingo, vote, Urungwe, vote for Mary Muliswa. Not on vote for 𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗰𝗲 chosen at Jongwe headquarters. No. ZANU-PF political system is from the elite going down. Now 𝗵𝗵𝗺 has introduced the pure democracy that is from the ground going up. All the leadership you will see, or all the leaders who will lead 𝗵𝗵𝗺 are coming from you guys, are coming from you as Zimbabweans, are coming from you as citizens. That will give them the sovereignty of the sovereignty process, or strengthen their sovereignty of making power laws. The sovereignty of parliament will be blessed by you guys. The powers to make law will be blessed by the citizens of a country. Even the judiciary system ikaona zvikuitwa na president Chamisa inovhunduka. Even wakada corruption, they won't be able to do corruption. But they know that, oh, these people in the House of August are the representatives of what? Of the majority. These laws are being made by the people who were chosen by the majority. Not the majority as yekunzi MP weChegutu ndiShamu. For 43 years, Shamu has been member of parliament in Chegutu, being appointed by ZANU-PF as appointing board, and forced down the throats of Zimbabweans by the elite. This is not the politics of 𝗵𝗵𝗺. Heads off, but 𝗵𝗵𝗺. Congratulations to the 𝗵𝗵𝗺 leadership. Congratulations to the president of 𝗵𝗵𝗺. You have come up with an idea. You are innovative, and your initiative will see the sovereignty of parliament being strengthened. Power ngaribve kuvanhu ngoma Philip sezvamuri kuona izvi. Hanzi kumasero kwawo hakuna chiriko. Did you see that soon after their primary elections, it's an ancient system that they used. It's a very old system that is being used by ZANU-PF to select candidates. Look at their primary elections. If you want to see that kumasero hakuna chino, see how many votes they garnered. ZANU-PF nationwide failed to garner 1.5 million votes. But vanenge vachingoimba kuti kumasero hanzi musangano wakasimba kumasero hanzi 5 million votes for ED. What they got from their cells is from their words. What they got is exactly the number of their supporters, and they garnered less than 1.5 million votes. And the Mango strategy for President Nelson Chamisa worked as well. As 𝗵𝗵𝗺 people were frog marched to go and vote. This is why you saw there were about 600 out of 700 votes. 615 were spoiled votes. 25 were the votes that were correct, and the rest were spoiled. As kwete munhu anogara kuBorodeo ari prime minister kudotito taura yenyu. Hey, exactly. You see, member of parliament okudotito achigara kuBorodeo. Uchagara rini nevanhu vako. You have lost touch with your dotito people. A member of parliament should always be with his people. Live in the constituents where you are voted. This is why I am saying heads off from 𝗵𝗵𝗺. Heads off for 𝗵𝗵𝗺. Hands off 𝗵𝗵𝗺. Congratulations, President Nelson Chamisa. Congratulations, the 𝗵𝗵𝗺 brigade. Congratulations to the leadership. Your initiative definitely will ensure that there is eradication of illiteracy in our political system. Munanga can't even write a word million. So we Zimbabweans, this is why I said tag Jonathan Moyo, tag Charamba, tag whoever thinks is a heavyweight in ZANU-PF politics. What they have seen is they have promoted a political illiteracy in our country, which is now being eradicated by President Nelson Chamisa. Murume anonzi Chamisa uya, let him say God is in it. Because definitely what we are witnessing now is the true hand of God. The input of God himself. After 43 years of promoting political illiteracy in our country, Chamisa has brought something that will eradicate that political illiteracy. MaZimbabweans vanenge vakunzwisisa kuti chii chinonzi parliament, chii chinonzi councillor. Munhu akaita sei watiri kuda kuti aite councillor. You are going to choose when you are Omega. Hamusi kuchuzirwa ne-𝗵𝗶𝐶, hamusi kuchuzirwa neZANU. Pane nyaya yenhasi. Tiri kutaura nyamaropa. I'm talking about the political system that is being introduced by 𝗵𝗶𝐶. It is a clean and pure political democracy. It has never been introduced anywhere in the world. It has never been introduced even in Zambia, anywhere in the world. It is first introduced in Zimbabwe, and it will be copied by, we have got 192 countries in the world, if not 193 now, because there is South Sudan is another country. So we probably have 193 countries now, because we had 192 countries globally. 123 countries out of 192 are democratic countries. But out of those 192, the system that has been initiated by President Nelson Chamisa has never been initiated anywhere out of 192 countries in the world. So those 192 countries will copy the system that Chamisa has implemented now. Unfortunately, we've got professors who do not understand the dynamics of politics in our country. Very thick-headed. My professor, 2017 coup. Vakamhanyiswa nemasoja 2017. Professors who were in office as Minister of Information but couldn't even pick the intelligence that a coup is coming. Is someone condemning the political process that is being innovated or being initiated by a new political party which is almost a year old. You see? So President Chamisa is eradicating this political illiteracy in our country. Because ZANU-PF system had a way of doing its democracy. Has got a way of doing, they've got what they call norms, which are not democratic. They've got their norms, ways of doing things. And when a political party is formed, they expect it to run in a similar way ZANU-PF is run. Like what we did in MDC. When we formed MDC, we followed the political system that was introduced by ZANU-PF. Sometimes I was asking myself when we were in MDC, what are the differences between ZANU-PF and MDC? Sometimes I couldn't find differences. The differences which were there that I noted is MDC was never using violence to coerce voting. But if you look at the voting system, it was similar. If you look at the structures, probably were similar. If you look at the way we campaigned, it probably was similar. ZANU-PF ikagadzira maposters, toisa maposters. ZANU-PF ikaita marally, toita marally. Look at what is happening in 𝗵𝗶𝐶 now. All rallies were banned. But we have infiltrated ZANU-PF. We have infiltrated Mapachka. Yeah, I think MDC and ZANU-PF, those are twins. They were twins. This is probably why in 2008 we failed to assume power that the citizens gave us. It's because we had a ZANU-PF system of doing things. And on. Ndara tsvangirai vaiti vakarohwa ngoti vakati no musadzorera. misha ikapiswa hanzi musadzorera, vana vakapfurwa vakaurawa vakabhadhakwa hanzi musadzorera. Ndakazombofunga kuti mudhara uyu asi ane chaanobenefita here kuti tife. Andimona. So ZANU-PF always want you to follow its political system that has been discarded by President Nelson Chamisa. So ZANU-PF made sure that political illiteracy was rampant in our country. Thanks to President Chamisa for eradicating it. Because the system that we are seeing now being implemented by President Chamisa promotes accountability. It will see economic upliftment of Zimbabwe as a nation. Because the majority of people are involved. You will see emergence of new leadership that has never emerged in ZANU-PF. KuZANU, ukaona pachinzi paita new leader, imbomutarisa kuti ndiani. Muzukuru wa Emerson, muningina wa Mtsvangwa, mwana wa Jonathan Moyo, mwana wa Nick Mangwana. There has never been emergence of new leadership in ZANU-PF. They keep their ZANU thing within themselves. It's a family thing. Munakapuwa rice nenyama reboot one pfungwa dzokutanganyika, Mr. Ida. I know. What happened to the constituencies where 𝗣𝗶cie failed to get candidates? Thanks for asking this question at a flow. Let me address this question now. There is no constituency in Zimbabwe that has failed to get candidates. No, never. There is no such information. There is no such constituency. I've been talking to chairpersons of different constituencies, provinces. No such constituency exists in the 𝗣𝗶cie. The problem that we have in the 𝗣𝗶cie, we have got too many candidates who tendered their applications to represent the people of Zimbabwe. So now the consultation process is for the people, for the citizens, to say, out of a good example, we've got one constituency with about 52 aspiring members of parliament in one constituency. So we are going to, this is what is delaying now, because consultations are being made. People are now selecting who they want. Out of the 52 people, we just need one candidate. There is no constituency without representatives. But all the constituencies are overwhelmed with applications. Now the citizens are nominating who they want. And on. So the issue about constituencies without representatives, it's not true. That is not true. That is not true at all. And on. Saka tikutaura about what this system could cause. If you look at the system as Kules Mkanya na chairman akazosarudzwa rini ku 𝗣𝗶cie kunonza hakuna ma-structures. Ma-structures, they are there. That is immaturity. It's an immaturity way of ZANU-PF. Because ZANU-PF want 𝗣𝗶cie to do its business in a similar way ZANU-PF does its business. No. If you come to the UK, the chairperson of this province, Aripo. If you go to Mashonaland, Magunja Aripo ndiye chairperson of province Mashonaland. We have got interim executives which are running the affairs of the party. Ndoshamisika ZANU runs hakuna structures because they don't know. They are trying to get information from us. They want us to tell them good organizing secretary when national on the Chibaya. They've seen Chibaya doing business. They've seen when they being the secretary general of the party. But still ZANU-PF continue to say amuna structure. So what is Shibaya doing? What is 𝗣𝗶𝗺𝗃 doing? What is Koltat doing? Adora. Saka, it's not true that we are a structureless entity. That is not true. The structures are there. If you go to America, you will see the provincial chairperson there. If you come to the UK, chaumburuka aripo. Vanhu vasikazive chairperson we-UK we-𝗶𝗶𝗇 anonzi chaumburuka. He's there. Organizing secretary wedu isusu anonzi Mood Pamire. Is the organizing secretary wekuno ku UK. Saka, when they say there are no structures, we don't know what they mean. The structures are fully operational. Structures are there. But because ZANU-PF, they think or they want us to do business according to their norms, which we are not going to budge to that. And what they simply do, ZANU-PF, is they simply want to tarnish the image of 𝗶𝗶𝗇, is they tarnish the image of a country. If you see the involvement, ZANU-PF tarnished the image of a country. The involvement of the military in the coup to remove a democratically elected Mugabe, it strangled the democratic rule in our country. So we are not going to do what they want. We don't follow what ZANU-PF want. The institutions of Zimbabwe, this is the reason why most institutions in Zimbabwe are on targeted sanctions. Because ZANU-PF tarnished the image of our country. Zimbabwe, hey. So this is why you see most of these ZANU-PF people who want us to do the things the way they do, they face these financial penalties. They are on targeted sanctions. They can't trade with the modern world because they are very stupid. Their undemocratic tendencies have even led to the destruction of Zimbabwe's image. So there are instability in their party, in ZANU. There are instability. So you will find them that they want to always intervene in our politics, in our domestic affairs. This is what destroyed MDC. And this is why we left MDC. And we have proved to them that we were the MDC. Thanks, Nyamaroba. ZANU-PF iri kuda kuziva mastrike, ida kuziva ndavanani. They want to know people who to abduct and who not to abduct. And the problem is they want to be like a big brother, or to be the biggest brother in Zimbabwe, where they will interfere in unreasonably in any political entity, like what they did with the ZANU-PF, or with MDC. And all. So we are a different political party. We have got our structures in place. Everything is in place. We cannot accept this exerted influence by ZANU to say, tell us your structures, do your structures. We are not a communist party. ZANU-PF must understand that. This is why I was saying today, call even Jonathan Moyo. I want to teach him about an initiative 𝗶𝗶𝗇. It is not a communist party. It is a pure democratic party. It is not just an ordinary democratic party. It's a pure democratic party. Implementing clean, pure democracy in our country. First of its kind worldwide. As I've mentioned earlier on. That we've got 193 countries, including South Sudan. They've never implemented the democracy that you are seeing Chamisa implementing in our country. And more. It has nothing to do with the military rulers. The way we are doing our democracy is very different. ZANU-PF's way of doing things, it involves military in everything they do. If you look at the structure of ZANU-PF, the command ward is full of the military, which has damaged or tarnished the image of Zimbabwe. The military must be busy defending the nation, but they are busy defending a political party. We are different from that. We will never allow the military to interfere in 𝗵𝗶𝗇 affairs. If a soldier wants to be a politician, resign from the army, join politics. If you don't join politics, remain in the barracks and defend the nation. Leave politics to politicians. This will give our country national integrity, which has been destroyed by ZANU-PF due to political disharmony in their political party. And more. So, we are a different political party. We have got our structures. We have got everything in place. And we are initiating, or we are implementing pure democracy never seen anywhere in Africa or in 192 countries that I've mentioned, 193 countries. This is why you see we don't talk about 𝗵𝗇 for Chamisa. We don't talk about 𝗣𝗶𝟐 for Chamisa. We don't talk about 𝗵𝗈 for Chamisa. We don't target individuals to say these people are the ones that we want to vote for Chamisa. No. We look at Zimbabwe as one. The people of Zimbabwe are the citizens who will vote Chamisa. We don't target certain individuals, certain organizations. Because what ZANU-PF has done now is promoted religious intolerance in our country. Munhu kuti aende kunonamata chipostori anoka kuti ukasvika kwenonga kunzi mupostori for ED. People are staying home. People are staying home. Because there's now religious intolerance there. Because there is heavy damage to the religion. Zita ra Mwari has been damaged by ZANU-PF. Zita ra Jesu has been further dented by ZANU-PF. And what? If we are to form a successful government, we need to do away with this religious intolerance. Those people vanonamata kana vachida kutinamatira, let them go vanonamatira president wavo kuchurch. Zvisina cohesion kuti uyai munamate Emerson Mnangagwa. Andimona. 𝗵𝗶𝗇, what they are doing today, if you look at it, it promotes this religious freedom. Vachamisa vakataura vakati, even mukauya pa Twitter account yangu, ndinonyora mavhesi angu, because Twitter account ya President Chamisa is not an official Twitter handle ye-𝗵𝗶𝗇. Zvakafanana neTwitter handle yaYuda. Hainei ne-𝗵𝗶𝗇, haisi ye-𝗵𝗶𝗇. But when I'm doing 𝗵𝗶𝗇 business, ndoenda kupi? Ku 𝗵𝗶𝗇 Twitter handle, or 𝗵𝗶𝗇 account, or kuma structures acho. Andimurikona. So, under Emerson Mnangagwa government, Zimbabwe has failed to sufficiently protect religious rights of the people of Zimbabwe. Iyoyo unorohwa nemushamu unorwadza naMwari. Mushamu wainzanzi mushamu une munyu unobva kudenga, unokurovai vanhu veZimbabwe mukaita zvekutamba nezvamuri kuitirwa naEmerson Mnangagwa. Maakutonzi regai kunamata Mwari, munamate Emerson, mapostori for ED Mnangagwa. Hakusina mapostori for God. Hakusina mapostori for Joan. Hakusisina. Hakunzi mapostori for ED Mnangagwa. That is the state Zimbabwe has failed now to protect religious rights of those people. So the end results, handisi kuprofita asi ndiri kutaura kuti munhu akarasa Emerson Mnangagwa akaramba achitamba naMwari zvaari kuita zvezvo, anogona kungodonha ari pastage akafa. Kufa chaiko kudhine God's gone rwapasi. Because God is not happy. Let my religious groups anamate zviri fleeing, because you are causing religious turmoil. There is religious instability in our country, and that religious instability will definitely cause internal instability in the country and in the region. Let God, Mwari avana political party, Mwari anda vanhu vaakasika vese. So set up yenye kuti mapostori for ED, abandon that. I am just giving an advice kunana Jonathan Moyo, kunana Charamba na George nevarakashi, kuti don't play with God's name, abandon it. Because it is an immediate threat to your democracy in your country. That we are talking about pure democracy, which we have witnessed President Chamisa initiating in our country. That has never been initiated anywhere. The second nditarisa Jonathan Moyo achimaka form. Since he was born, kutanga grade 1 usvika aita professor, haasati ambosangana nefomu rakadaro. It's the first of its kind. Akatanga kutoriona ipapa, and to him it's shocking. Sakana zvaimaka achitaura is irrelevant, because it's something that he never came across. Even in his studies to become a professor, he never made that form. He just saw it today. Anzi ini ndaifunga kuti ndadzokera kuZimbabwe ndoenda kuMethodist Church, asi kubva paIsa. It's a shame that all the churches in Zimbabwe, they've abandoned to pray God. They are now praying ED Mnangagwa. Ukaenda pamasowe pari kuimbwa Mnangagwa, mavhesi ari kuimbwa pamasowe nda Mnangagwa, mharidzo iri kuuya pamasowe ndeya Mnangagwa. Unotadza kuzati mweya waMwari here wabva kudenga uri kuuya uchitaura zvaMnangagwa. Hanzi nemuprofita musi watorovhota nendiri pamweya ndichivhotera vaMnangagwa. Saka kutamba nezwi raMwari, Mwari havazvidi zvazvo. I am warning ED Mnangagwa today that don't ever interfere with the religious freedom. It's something that can see you uchinyorerwa kunzi mene 𝗣𝗶ecie his𝗲𝗲𝗿 pasapo, mambo wako wapera, ngaapinde ake mukoma Colin Kwature zviri sei. Anoona. So the bearers of this new political system, the 𝗏𝗶𝗇, the bearers of this new political process that has shocked even the professors, that has shocked ZANU-PF, they never thought about this. That means if 𝗏𝗶𝗇 forms a government today, it will be a government of the people, a government formed from pure democracy, which is completely useful in our country, something that we lack as a state. So the concept of pure democracy is what is being implemented today by President Nelson Chamisa. This is why I always say, well done, President Chamisa. Well done, 𝗏𝗶𝗇 family. Well done, the citizens of Zimbabwe. What you came up with is shocking. ZANU-PF is shocked. The professors are shocked. Varakashi vanyarara kuti zii, they've got nothing to say. Varungori maka form, ukavabvunza chauri kumaka chi, which form are you comparing this with? This system has never been implemented anywhere in the world. Out of 193 countries we have, well, globally, there is no system like this. So if you are marking it, tell us, which form are you comparing it with? You are comparing that form with which form? Even Professor Moyo akasvika akagara ndinovabvunza kuti form ramuri kuverenga ramuri kumaka here muri kukombera which system which form? But this is a total different political system, a total different political process, which is being initiated, which is being implemented by President Chamisa and the team, which professors failed to do whilst they were given all the opportunity to devise with the Ministry of Information in ZANU-PF and in government. Takapesera takuona tangu pa ZBC ne ZTV. Pakapesera Jonathan Moyari, Minister of Information. Paingoimbwa Rambai Makashinga Mkoma Christopher Murambwi zviri sei mwana wamai ngapinda ake mukomana. Andisi kunyepa inini. People who were in Zimbabwe kuma 2005 2000 zvichikwidza uko. Waiti ukavhura TV ukaswitcha on TV. Wataka kuzwa the player that I know is a toilet. Right? Later on, every 5 minutes or 10, it was repetitive indoctrination of the people of Zimbabwe. That was done by a professor. Right. That professor never initiated anything whilst he was ZANU-PF head, whilst he was a minister. With all the tools at his disposal, never initiated anything that Zimbabweans would appreciate. Now, President Chamisa is putting something that we have never seen. Mr. Yuda, change is now coming. I smell it now. Woyo ne 𝗣𝗶cie, definitely say good. Definitely. Nora. Thanks, Kotias. Those are times. Unoza white. Mpana, apana mpana aimba. Mpana angane guitar angara penga inzi Brian mtake. Ndakazwa kuimba dum tu 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 tu. Nana no manyika. Uzotata kungora pa ezimgido. Nora vakomana mbororo kuenda nekudzoka mbororo neora. Every zemgido. Every day. Rambai Makashinga. Nora. Anzi mpana yakazodipotwa pa Heathrow can go back to Zimbabwe and sing Nora. Anymore. So looking at professors in Zimbabwe who are shocked by the pure democracy being initiated by none other than Nelson Chamisa and his team. Unonzwa kutapiriro. Roberto Simgana yuda takuimba ndi. Ora iro vanogara mudiri. Ora banje. Tunotaura, tunoimba. Because it's something now giving hope to the people of Zimbabwe. People of Zimbabwe have got hopes now. Vamwambota Chamisa is too quiet. Chamisa is what? Muri kuona here zviri kuitika. Musaka achisimudza kachigunu achiti God is in it. Kakarega kusimudza kako akaka unoshora Mwari. God is in it. Andimona. Ndosaka muri kuona nyika izvinezvi yaparara. What we are witnessing happening in ZANU-PF is very dangerous for democracy. Very dangerous. Ukachenda ku Zimbabwe nasi with everything that ZANU-PF has done has led us to crisis after crisis. Inflation, food shortages, water shortages, no energy, no electricity. This will tell you that there is something wrong in the political system being implemented by ZANU-PF. Something wrong, very wrong. Mambo. Taurai vanhu vazive. Ndatenda mukumasho. Ngapinda ake mukomana. Andimora nyati kutaura. Today, if you go to Zimbabwe, food commodities are getting beyond common man's reach. Vanhu vari kustarva, vanhu vari kufa nenzara muZimbabwe. Nezuro ndakataura nabhururu wangu akandifonera. Handishoda kutaura zita rake, but akandireminder imwe nyaya. When he was about to come to the United Kingdom, unoziva kuti munhu anga angori frustrated asingataure. He was a quiet guy taishanda tese. Asi kutonga nyika kusvika Dynamos neIslanders dzanotambira mumunda trophy kureserve. Zvakaoma kana. I spoke to one of my former workmates yesterday. We spoke for almost an hour. Ndakabva ndaremember the day rimwe raye apaka musi wakaiswa pataiti. Uzati mupana anobva matebhelele ndu. Kwandiri andingati mupana, ndaimuti mukoma, ndaimuti blazi. Because he was older than me. He was senior in the force. I still remember the other day, my days ataishungurudzwa isusu. Mugabe gave a speech He was in uniform. All of a sudden, but why can't this old man go and rest? Hey! Ari mi uniform dead. Akadaidzwa maofisi neanoera kunzi wataura hanzi mugaba aende kunoresta iwewe. Kusvika musi waida kuya kuuk vakatoramba kumusainira leave forms, kuramba musainira kuti hazviite iwewe. Ndokutaura kuti Mugabe must go and rest. You see, that is a dangerous sign to democracy. When we talk about democracy, we don't need to talk about elites in the democratic process. Izvozvo now, if you go to Zimbabwe, there's no Zagandaura Zvikanzi ndakaenda kuZimbabwe with a family function. So I went to Zimbabwe. Zvikanzi what I saw, food commodities are getting beyond common man's reach. Vanhu havana mari yacho. Zvikanzi ndangopesera ndakutengera vanhu doro, vanhu vachimwa, vanhu vachiita sei, ndichitenga chikafu, vanhu vachidya. And so if you look at everything, this food insecurity iri munyika medu, who caused it? It's obvious. Emerson Mnangagwa, who is now the president of Zimbabwe. It was command agriculture, command everything. Government is frail management of the agriculture system. Has made things complex in our country. And it's threatening lives of almost 15 million Zimbabweans. Hunger now is threatening. Water shortage is threatening the lives of people in our country. This is why 𝗣𝗶•, President Nelson Chamisa, has come up with an initiative that makes people of Zimbabwe come together. Was divided we fall. So everybody is coming in to have an input into the representatives that they want, who will go and debate issues in parliament and make laws for our country to make sure that we curb inflation. We do away with this crisis, water crisis, energy crisis, food crisis. Zimbabwe is crisis after crisis. And we all witness that natural calamity. We all witness what happened in Chimanimani. We all witness how ZANU-PF government managed that disaster in Chimanimani. There was a flood in Chimanimani. Rocks, matombo akatakurwa, poles, they were carried away by floods. Houses were destroyed. People were buried underneath the rubbles. And kumuna asinganzwisise, that can paralyze an economy of a country. Those natural disasters. We have witnessed droughts in our country. Droughts that the forecasters told the government that there will be drought in year 2012 and so forth. But the government was caught and unprepared to the extent that people are starving in our country. The government itself and the ZANU-PF has severely hampered the development of the country. They have devastated the hopes of the people of Zimbabwe to have a good country compared to other countries around SADC. It's a pitiful situation. We find ourselves in a pitiful condition that needs the initiative of President Nelson Chamisa. That needs your initiative, your input. And so the system that is being implemented today by President Nelson Chamisa is a system that will help us tackle the challenges that we have faced under ZANU-PF. Because if we fail to pinpoint or to select candidates who are going to help us fight for our democracy in parliament, fight for our democracy in the country, then we will fail as a generation. People say we are a generation of cowards. I've heard a lot of people discussing that, hey, guys, we are a generation of cowards. This is why we are perishing. Because we are a generation of cowards. we have allowed the unemployment rate to go ballistic. And we all know what causes this unemployment rate to rise. We all know. Because imboterera imim, nyika kana isina energy, nyika kana isina magetsi, nyika kana isina electricity, how are our industries going to function? Because when Varungu came to Africa or to Zimbabwe, the first thing or the first idea they brought was to make sure that they create electricity so that industries will function. If there is no energy, there are no industries, and the unemployment rate will rise. Muda kubika chingwa imimi. Hamuna marasha, hamuna magetsi, hamuna energy. Munubika chingwa chacho ne. Because gone are the days dzekumirira mvura yekunaya. Tinofana kudiridza minda. Minda kuti idiridzwe inoda magetsi. Mainjini anodhonza mvura anoda magetsi. Kana anda fuel. Kana usina fuel yacho unodiridza ne. Energy is very important. Lack of energy will cause unemployment in our country. This is why you see Zimbabwe in an unemployment rate, in the highest unemployment rate in the world. Because, look at it, we've got 20-hour load shedding. Electricity goes for 20 hours. You can only have electricity for 4 hours. There is no production that you can do in 4 hours. Hakuna. Munenge mchiproduce chi in 4 hours. What production are you going to do in 4 hours? So industries will close. After industries close, then unemployment rate will rise. This is why we have the highest unemployment rate. Industries have shut down. This is why you see these deteriorating conditions of agriculture and industrial sectors has caused our government to crumble. And it is our government can no longer be able to provide employment to the masses in our country. This has weakened the roots of democracy. So what is going to happen now is 2023 is your chance to usher a new government. And that new government, President Chamisa has already started with an initiative of letting you choose the leaders you want to represent you. You're going to choose members of parliament. You're going to choose leaders that you think will represent you in parliament. These people are going in parliament to fight. Why we don't have fuel? Why we don't have energy? Why is our economy crumbling? Because we cannot rely on the people who have been there for 43 years in parliament, who witnessed the crumbling or the worsening of the conditions I'm stating here. The energy crisis worsened whilst we had members of parliament in parliament who were loyal to ZANU-PF. And this has adversely affected you, affected me, affected the industrial sector, affected the agriculture sector, affected everything in our country. Indolent members of parliament, loyalists to ZANU-PF. Chico, Zirise Mwanauman. So the energy crisis on its own should have never been seen in our country if we were a democratic country. If you look at the whole country today, it's suffering. The country is suffering. These power outages, load shedding 20 hours a day. Hakuna nyika inorarama ne load shedding 20 hours a day. This has adversely disturbed the domestic life and the economic activities of a country, to the extent that the country now is closed. Ndo nyika inonzi yavharwa. Na iri kambani yavhara. Pasisina kambani. And this is why I've said Zimbabwe probably is one of the luckiest countries in the world. Out of 193 countries we have, the luckiest country is Zimbabwe. Because I am telling, atete loveness, magadi, atete charity, muright. Ngapinda ake mkumana, shikai, atete love, shikai. I am saying, I want you to listen to me today, guys. I am saying Zimbabwe is the luckiest nation in the world, where people are never agitated in streets. People are never found in streets damaging public property, demonstrating on the issue of energy and unemployment. You are, Zimbabwe, you are the luckiest country in the world. Because the people of Zimbabwe, they've surrendered to 𝗗𝗂𝗵𝗵𝗆. They no longer talk about growth of a nation. They no longer talk about prosperity of the country. They've surrendered to their fate. This is why I am telling you that Zimbabwe, you are probably the luckiest country in the world, where people have tolerated social injustice, where people have said, okay, that's fine, even if there is high domestic violence in our country. Because kurowa nemasoja domestic violence here. Because domestically, those people are supposed to protect you and me. We have seen a lot of people being targeted. Target killings. 𝗣𝗶𝗇𝐶 vakangongana panapa. ZANU-PF youth will come with machetes and kill people. We have seen soldiers, mapurisa, vachenda musika nemusika, extorting money from one or tengesa zvinhu town. Mapurisa 𝗍𝗏, which is not their duty, which is supposed to be done by the municipality. We have seen people being kidnapped and people going missing in our country. This has made our lives insecure. A lot of Zimbabweans have fled that country to go into diaspora, not because they want to live in diaspora, but because they fear being abducted. They fear being killed. Every Zimbabwean today is vulnerable. You have seen that young man being dragged away by a CIO guy. Akatakurwa nekola. Achiendeswa na nasi, nobody knows where that guy went to. All Zimbabweans are vulnerable at this juncture. So the sense of insecurity among the people of Zimbabwe is increasing. We are very insecure in our country. Or those who are outside now, you can't even go home. You can't visit Zimbabwe. Ukaona visit Zimbabwe, very connected with these people who are causing all this suffering. And when they go there, they are protected. Vamwandopuwa state security kuvachengeta vaenda kumusha. But common people and their properties are suffering. So ZANU-PF has bred frustration in our country, which are the hopes that President Chamisa is bringing now to say, guys, let's not be frustrated. We as Zimbabweans facing this social injustice, there is something we can do. We have been subjected to this frustration for quite a long time. And let's democracy take its way. Let's pave path to democracy. Pure and clean democracy. That will promote accountability in our country. Iwe oramba iwosora. What hanzi nindri professor ndozi Jonathan Moyo. Woswera uchimaka paper rausati wamboona in your life. Zvakanyorwa pa hauna kana idea nazvo kuti zvii zviri kudiwa ne-𝗶𝗶𝗇𝐶. And so the people of Zimbabwe pretend as if they are unaware of this all social injustice. They are like ignoring this situation and surrender to the fate. So we will perish. Isusu, when people look at us, they look at us as a lost generation, as a generation of cowards. Since independence, We all know that the ZANU-PF elite has been plundering this country we call Zimbabwe. But we never challenged them. Every time we challenge them, we form a political party. Kwakafomwa wana Zoom, vakarohwa vakaparara. Kwakafomwa wana Ndu, vakaparadzwa. Kukafomwa ma political party akauya akaparadzwa. Tikauya neMDC, tikaita impact tikaparadzwa. Now we've got 𝗵𝗶𝚃. We should never allow this political party to be paradzwa neZANU-PF. Mbana waya akabatwa nekola, hanzi aida unotsemura munangagwa nembama. Kuti iwe tatambura isusu. He was one of the bravest young men I've ever met in life, who confronted Mnangagwa ari papodium with iwe rigaindororwa munhu yombama mani. So we don't know where he is, and the people were just saying rest in peace, rest in peace. Probably he has been killed by now. Atete mas really say. Because what we are failing to understand in Zimbabwe, social justice is a norm, value, and a principle of the health society. If you have got no social justice in your country, you are not a health society. Zimbabwe has got no social justice. This is why you see we cannot enjoy peace in our country. There is no prosperity in our country. The whole system, as you see, it has caused an unstable country. We have got a very unstable country in everything that you think of. And Murugona. Ndosaka manzwa nachitaura ndikati. President Chamisa now has come with a plan for 𝗵𝗶𝚃 to make sure that that political illiteracy is erased that has been caused by ZANU-PF to the masses. The people of Zimbabwe, they have been rendered political illiterate. And more. Because our political system has contributed to the deterioration of the country, contributed to the deterioration of social justice, contributed to the deterioration of everything you think of to support life. Takamboganza. We are the most educated people in Africa. I think we were wrong. We were supposed to say we are the most illiterate people in Africa. Someone who can read and write, but not educated. Because we have got educated people like Jonathan Moore, who doesn't understand education itself. Akubatsire kumwe kudzidza. Bozo kana kudzidza kunopromota or breed a frail political and democratic culture in a country. Akusi kudzidza ikoko. Kupusa. We've got stupid professors, very stupid people as professors. An educated person who is unaware of his rights, who is given a ministry, and go on to fight the masses. Use the ministry as a channel for propaganda. Very ignorant professor who turns the whole country into ignorant people. Ignorant society. Zimbabwe becomes a country of ignorant people. News. We were not allowed kunzwa news zeku America. We were not allowed kuterera news zeku South Africa. Takataka kunza 100% content. I need drink. Takataka kunza 100% content pa 𝗣𝗶𝚃 pa ZTV. Pakuswera pachimbwa rambai makashinga. Mainunu. We have let the country down as the people of Zimbabwe. Heads off to President Nelson Chamisa. He is bringing life into this political arena. And on. So our internal squabbles or instabilities, they are just propaganda. They are their formation. What they don't understand now is we are in a digital era. And this digital era makes information flow, shairi, with uncensored information. I'm right live on Facebook. I've got 25 people watching and listening. I'm telling them exactly what it is supposed to be. What it is or what I'm telling them. Uncensored, people are enjoying this. And this is the democratic setup that people want. All the policies that ZANU-PF initiated, they led to poverty. We are now a poverty-stricken society. We are a mass of illiterate people. Believe me, that pompousness, we are the most illiterate people in Africa, has gone awash here. Akusina zia. Ukaenda Zimbabwe today, you can find someone who cannot read and write. Ndakazonakidza. Thanks, Clinton. All right. Anzi namkoma Elton Chitoa. Varakashi ngavaiswe nyere musoro. Zim wrong. Anzi sorry I came late, but mambotara nyaye hero. Yes, I was talking about that young man. Hansi, he was charging to go and slap Emerson Mnangagwa on the podium. And the CIOs had to grab him by the collar and lifted him away. Some idiots were suggesting that he should have been shot there. I'm a weapons instructor, a qualified weapons instructor, a sniper. Considering that boy who was walking, I wouldn't use my AK rifle to shoot that boy. Because by the time you aim at him and release a bullet, obvious bullet AK assault rifle, roll over 300 meters effective range. AK has got 300 meters effective range. From the muzzle, the bullet will go for 300 meters. Anything that is within that distance will be killed by the AK bullet. Rine effective range at 300 meters. Saka iwewe vanhu munhu ari pa 50 meters away from you, a trained soldier with an AK assault rifle. Can you shoot that person? No. Haana bomba, haana dombo, haana banga. Munhu ari kufamba asina chana atanorowa kunoslapa munhu wake. Kunoslapa munhu wake wakavhotera kunomuslapa nembama. Someone, Murakashi, suggesting that soldiers should have shot him dead. Pointing an AK assault rifle, pakazara vanhu vese vai, and release a bullet that can hit effectively 300 meters. That means when that bullet enters that boy, and on its point of exit, it still has got this power to continue killing about 10 more people very in line with that bullet. That will be senseless for that soldier to shoot that boy. And Varakash were happy to type on social media that that boy was supposed to have been shot. Varakash, there are mere civilians. There are people who do not know how an AK assault rifle operates. The impact, because there are golden rules of firearm, which Varakash do not understand. If you are a trained soldier, if you are a trained someone, you must understand the golden rules of a firearm. You could do not point a weapon in jest. It's a golden rule. When you can achieve your objectives by any other means, do not shoot. I cannot finish them. These are my golden rules. A use of firearm. If you can achieve your objectives by any other means, do not shoot. I don't think Varakashi are using their brains when they say that boy was supposed to have been shot. No. A trained soldier will tell you. I'm not even going to point my weapon at him. No, an AK at him. No, I won't. So the problem with 𝗣𝗂𝗺𝗃 is they are illiterate. It's an illiterate mass of people just sent to fight Zimbabweans or citizens on internet. They are too illiterate, those people. They promote domestic violence. They do promote political violence. Because of their sense of insecurity, they know they are going to lose 2023 election. And their frustration is being transferred to say, why didn't they shoot him? Why to hell with 𝗣𝗂𝗺𝗃. 𝗣𝗂𝗃 are a major problem in our country. Ndopa munozoona kana nyika ichinzi kasununguka paipai vamwe vanhu vachinokandwa kumajere because mhosva hairovi imhosva dzavari kuita idzi hadzirovi majere anozara. Instead of looking at my problems atikutarisana nawo which are stricken the society. A good example, we've got food. We lack food. There is food insecurity in our country. They're not concerned about the suffering of these people. They're not concerned about the rights of Zimbabweans. But they are concerned about continuing to kill Zimbabweans. That couch of killing within ZANU-PF, and I don't understand them. But what type of animals are they? Ukatasa munhu arikudaro ari pwipwipwi nechina. Munhu iye ari kurarama before the poverty datum line. But is saying that boy was supposed to have been shot. Andimon. Zvese zvakakonzerwa neZANU-PF. Ndozviri kukoretwa kana President Nelson Chamisa. I am encouraging all of you Zimbabweans could, when the day comes, go vote for 𝗵𝗶𝗺. If you are serious that you want a good life in our country, let's vote ZANU-PF out of power. My minister akada sana Jonathan Mo, they were my ministers of information. They were given control of the media in our country. Instead of uniting people, my programs are not promote investment in our country. They were busy with political activities. But they don't understand that the media plays a pivotal role in molding and shaping the beliefs of the people, the beliefs of those investors. America, Zimbabwe, investor. They rely on the news in Zimbabwe. They don't rely on my streets, no. They go read your newspapers. They read every newspaper in your country. Media plays a very pivotal role. If you are given a Minister of Information, as Minister of Information, promote Zimbabwe. Don't promote Mnangagwa. Because investors, when they come, they want to read up the good about Zimbabwe. Because investors ngagara panam. Chirikuleka mZimbabwe chi. Vanaru Zimbabwe varina fertilizer. Inini I can construct a company inogadzira fertilizer. So I can go invest inogadzira fertilizer mZimbabwe. MuZimbabwe murudo cement. My resources achakamira sei, my raw materials anowanika kupi. I can go construct a cement company tuzine kune my raw materials. I will come and invest there. Ndogadzira cement yangu ndotengesa ndoita profit. This is why my investors they rely on the media. So if your media is just hyping political activities without promoting the country to lure investors, then you are nothing. Guy Jonathan Moitim could pipe away Rambai Makashinga Ondo Minda. You were supposed to have been pinpointing where Zimbabwe lacks, and investors look into that per news, my newspaper and so forth, to come and invest in our country. But you were busy with the political activities that aggravate our situation, that makes it worse. Animal, you ignited the flame of political imbalance in our country. Mr. Jonathan Moyo, Nana George Charamba. You created disharmony in our country. You weakened Zimbabwe's roots of democracy and economy. This is why the country is suffering today. It will suffer Zimbabwe because of these people. And as Zimbabweans, I don't know why we can't chuck them away. This is why I was telling you that Zimbabwe is one of the luckiest countries. President asichafambe pa airport pasichaendeke paya. Andiri murikuona? Because it is a country with this crisis of governance. Zimbabwe is a country with the crisis of governance. This is why you see President Chamisa now try to back to the people to say, imimi vanhu, make decisions. Because whatever decisions you are going to make, they will ensure that there is rule of law in our country. And one, that will eliminate this governance crisis. Because now, poverty is growing in our country. We have got this poverty at an alarming rate. People of Zimbabwe, they find themselves in this poverty-stricken country. They can't challenge it. These people can't even procure basic staple food. Chibage, yacho, vanauta vakarima chibage, vanenge varima zvinhu zvinoshamisa. Vanokwira pamusoro pegomo, yaona chibage, chatakakura tichirima. Hapana, taikohwa ma50 bags padiki-diki, ma100 bags ataendesa kuJMB. Taikohwa chibage isusu. Every year, tairima chibage tichikohwa. Now chakuita kunge chinhu chinoshamisira munyika. Because to us it's a basic commodity. And despite Zimbabwe having these natural resources, it is a country rich on its natural resources. Billions of monies are being smuggled. Only gold. How about platinum? How about other natural resources? Forge and so forth. We shouldn't be finding ourselves in this worst scenario we are in our country. It's because we entrusted the nation in the hands of ignorant professors. People with 7 degrees who couldn't run a country. Now, we have made the situation worse. Kana musina rule of law munyika, ndoba munoswera muchiratidza vanhu venyuramba makashinga hondo yeminda and so forth, ignoring things that can lure investors in a country. A situation which President Nelson Chamisa is trying to rectify. Because as it stands today, ZANU-PF government has lost control of law and order in our country. No investor will come and invest in such a lawlessness country. That means our poverty will never end. Our suffering will continue. Unless citizens make a decision to say ZANU-PF must go, and we vote ZANU-PF out of power. Nyika yekuti nhasi ukangoenda ukabata ka-US dollar, you are robbed. No rule of law. Marobberies, mawandira, crime chaicha is norm of the day in our country. Vanhu vakutya kufamba nemari dzavo. Vanhu vakutya kudya mari dzavo. Vanhu vakutya kudriva motikari dzavo muZimbabwe nenyaya yekuti they are scared of being killed. Kuurayirwa motikari yawakazvitendera wega. Andiona. Vanhu vakutya kuenda kumarari. Kuti ukaenda kurari, vari kuya vana mudha Owen Mudha Ncube nema-matches killing people. Vari kuzvitira business ravo, vari kuzvitira mari ravo. Innocent people have been killed in our country. Innocent civilians have been shot by the military. Government seems to be helpless on it. They can't even restrain their soldiers. They can't even restrain their police. People are bludgeoned on a daily basis. People die every single day in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe becomes a dangerous country because of lack of rule of law, lack of control, due to unfavorable political environment in our country, which created poverty and unfavorable economic environment. So all that was created by ZANU-PF. Saka zviri kwauri muzimba kuti uri kuteerera here zviri kutaurwa naPresident Chamisa. Zviri kwauri muZimbabwean kuti are you following the developments in 𝗏𝗏𝗺. Usaudzwa neZanu, usaudzwa na Charamba, usaudzwa na Jonathan Moyo. Zvinhu zvaunogona kuzviverengera wega iwewe. Things that you can critically analyze on your own. Why do you need Jonathan Moyo? Why do you need Joe Charamba? Why do you need Nick Mangwana? Use your common sense. Use your brains. Think on your own. Because at the moment, ZANU-PF is engaging in scoring points, is engaging in a blame game. They are blaming party former a year ago for the sanctions, for the economic crisis in our country. They are not even concerned about the plight of the nation. The poverty that they've caused, the political disarmament that they've caused in the country, deprivation of people's rights. You understand? Zvinhu zvekuti iwewe neni as Zimbabweans, we must sit down and think. Kuti dream yatinayo kuti Zimbabwe ive Dubai. Kono tiende kuDubai, Dubai iuye kuZimbabwe. Vanhu vachivisita chitorarona Zimbabwe yakanaka. That dream should not only remain a fantasy, it must be reality. And for it to be real, it's you and me who are going to cast their vote on the in this 2023 harmonized election. That will get rid. Your vote, my vote, if counted, they will get rid of this rampant corruption. Zimbabwe is infested with corruption, and it's an obstacle to development. Mari dzema natural resources dziri kupinda muhomwe dzembavha, homwe dzana 𝗣𝗶𝗺𝗍𝗔, those are thieves. Mbavasada and so forth. And man, we become one of the, I think, the most corrupt nation in the world. We were ranked, I can't remember, we were ranked probably the worst corrupt nation in the world. Number 1 or what? I can't remember that. So the menace of corruption itself is hollowing the roots of red, weak democracy in our country. What do we need to do? President Nelson Chamisa is there. 𝗏𝗏𝗺 is there. It's not the duty of shepherd to tell you about 𝗏𝗏𝗺. It's your duty to find out as well. It's your duty to vote for 𝗏𝗏𝗺. It's your duty to promote 𝗏𝗏𝗺 policies. It's not about Chibaya, not about Wenda alone, not about President Chamisa, Deft Colton, Washman, Tendai, not about all those people. It's about you taking center stage to say, look, change must come 2023. Let's get rid of these corrupt people. Al Jazeera showed you that corruption is the menace that is preventing Zimbabwe from advancing. Zimbabwe can't be a modern world. Tirusirwa makomba nezvimba zvabhombwa ari maChina zvakakucheyama kudai. Unozvivaka nei? Mari dziri kuenda muhomwe, a corrupt elite, which you have got power to remove from power. Saka iwewe neni tikati isusu let's surrender to our fate. Then those people are not going to be held accountable for everything that they did. And the corruption will grow stronger and stronger. You will remain poorer and poorer and poorer. Because your failure to participate in this election, whilst you can, you are strengthening this corrupt regime. You are strengthening their stealing tendencies. You are giving them more power to steal your natural resources, to steal your money. It's your money. And what? Because if you look at it, in Zimbabwe they formed what they call ZAC. ZAC was supposed to investigate and prosecute these cases of corruption. Since ZAC was formed, they have even let off the hook 96 million NASA money gone by corrupt people. And we still believe in ZAC. We still believe in anti-corruption in Zimbabwe, which was appointed by a corrupt leader who goes on to appoint people who steal our natural resources. That means even ZAC has got no accountability. The government has no accountability. You should be holding them accountable. But you have got a way of holding them accountable. 2023 election is your only hope to hold them accountable. If you put your X on 𝗵𝗶𝗇, that means you are saying let's do away with corruption. You are demanding accountability. Because once 𝗵𝗶𝗇 government comes into power, ZAC will be effective. I am telling you. I am telling you. ZAC will be effective. Saga, let's wake up from this slumber. If we don't wake up, then we are going, getting suffer continue. The problem of Zimbabweans today is they talk about military involvement in politics. They talk about military meddling with the politics of a country. Politicians meddling with the constitution of a country. Things that you and me can do away with. If we don't want the military to meddle in our politics, let's go and vote in numbers. Let's vote 𝗵𝗶𝗇. 𝗵𝗶𝗇, when Chamisa become commander-in-chief, he will confine those soldiers to barracks and take them for training to different areas to help guard our borders. This is what the soldiers are supposed to be. The soldiers, they mustn't be involved in our politics. They lack political insight. If you see a soldier sitting down like 𝗗𝗏, the commander-in-chief or the commander of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, sitting down flanked by the generals, reading a statement that they will never salute anyone who never participated during the war, that means they lack political insight. This is why I was saying, tag Jonathan Moyo, that all those soldiers who refused to salute anyone without war credentials, they committed a crime. It's treasoners. They cannot proclaim that in front of the nation, on the national television. It's treasoners. They were supposed to have been arrested straight away and stripped of their ranks. Because ZANU-PF ZANU-PF is a political party which cannot invite the military to make such statement. You see the results of letting them meddle in our politics. On the 1st of August, people were shot in Harare. On the 19th of January 2019, people were shot in Harare. And those soldiers were used to topple Robert Mugabe. According to SADC and EU, Mugabe was democratically elected and was running a democratic government. But instead, they chose to be unconstitutional. Using unconstitutional means, raided the streets, deployed tanks, disarmed other units, and removed Mugabe. This is the danger of letting the military meddle in politics. That's the danger of it. The democratic values of a country and the country's political survival has been hampered by that coup. And people are still scared of coup. So those a lot of people phone me asking me, Shepherd, 𝗣𝗶𝚃 tikaivotreka wina. Akuzoitika kuere. Let me rest assure you guys. Let me rest assure you. Vote for 𝗣𝗶𝚃. There is no coup that is going to happen in Zimbabwe after President Chamisa wins this election. I rest assure you, and I am assuring you that there is no coup going to happen after President Chamisa wins. President Chamisa will be the commander-in-chief. He will issue an order. Those who are not going to take orders, they are going to step down. If you can't take orders from the commander-in-chief, step down. We still have a lot of soldiers who will be loyal to the government, who will be promoted to those ranks. Kana pasina tinoyatolidha isu ana Shepherd. Tinoyatolidha mauto atakuzviziva izvi. Zvinodiwa kuti mauto edu aita defend nyika anoda chi. Hapana pandinopinda kumhanya nawo nenchifacilitator chete matrainings. Kuti kana tine commando, inofanira kutraina to a certain level to defend the country. Kana tine para, inofanira kutraina to a certain level. We are going to introduce more units to Zimbabwe. Not the units are required a politics. We don't want political units. We want national army. Zimbabwe iri landlocked. We are going to have the nerve. We will have it. Tinele 𝗏𝗃𝗵 inoda kudefendwa. So we need masoja anogona kurwara mvura. And kana takwenda kubatsira dzimwe nyika dzine masi tunoenda kunorwa ikoko. Tofana kuwana 𝗏𝗏𝗵 mufana kutogara mune boat rehondo patrol 𝗏𝗏𝗵 masoja arimo muyamwe guarding our boundaries. Unozanza hatina navy boss hatina mvura. Iwe tamushi. We want that navy in our country. Toda special forces akati one day ekuti commando ikaziva ikapinda ikapatadza tunoisa another special force ipapo kusvika nyika yanaka. Saka izvozvo hazvina basa. Kana ini ndikanzi iwewe Shepherd you're gonna be Minister of Defense, I know where to start and end. Hakuna musoja anofanira kuverenga tsamba yekuti is not going to salute anyone asina mawo credentials. Uri ani iwe? Kana usikade kusaluta, step down. Step down iwewe, step down. 𝗏𝗏𝗵 munofanira kugara pfuti mu𝗏𝗏𝗵 dzinenge dzichimenwa nemasoja enavy eZimbabwe are trained to deal nemvura. 𝗏𝗏𝗵. It's a key installation which needs protection. And Saka, we cannot let the military interfere in politics whilst they ignore real issues that they should be dealing with. Because by letting them to meddle in our politics, they are meddling as well with their constitutional responsibilities. This is what you saw damaged the image of Zimbabwe. That coup damaged the image of Zimbabwe. Because why? Constitution of a country is regarded as the guardian of democracy. Zimbabwe has got a new constitution. Unfortunately, this dictator we have, Emmerson Mnangagwa, has trimmed this constitution in accordance to his own personal interests. And the Zimbabweans, we are failing to stop him from doing that. Passing on draconian laws, trimming the constitution that we wrote in 2013. We are failing as Zimbabweans. I can't hear you. Come and say it. Food is ready. All right, I'm about to finish my presentation. Adini muri kunzwa nyaya ndikutaura pana. Ndosaka mandinasika tagai Jonathan monda kumudzisa politics. Sandiri kutaura idzi politics idzi. Dzinokuita kuti nyika iende mberi. Now we've got a constitution being mutilated by Mnangagwa. He's mutilating it or trimming it according to his own personal interests, not according to your interests as the nation. So you find that ZANU-PF is a political party, and its political forces, nevarakashi vavo, played a horrible role in deteriorating the original draft of our 2013 constitution, particularly in 2017. What happened in that coup should have never happened, because it opened a way that any other government which is coming, allowing this to happen, it will be unable to protect itself. It will be removed by the military. In a similar manner, Mugabe was removed. And in Mona. You see that coup, it gave powers to a handful of families. Zimbabwe now is no longer run democratically. It's being run by a family. There are certain families, the Mnangagwa family, the Matemadada family, the Muchangwa family, the Mangwana family. So a handful of families are making the laws for us. A handful of families are running that country. They are the politicians who are now running that country. Isusu atichina masimba nenyika yedu. We can't even do a confrontation because tinopfurwa. Army ndeavo, army generals ndeavo nema families avo, Chiwenga family controlling the army. This has created a poor relationship between the people of Zimbabwe and their national army. This is a great threat to democracy. Because as it stands, Zimbabwe lacks mature, sensible leaders. If we don't confront them, we will feel the consequences of failure to take action. This is why we are now being deemed the coward generation of Zimbabwe. Turikukundwa nana mbuya nehanda. Turikukundwa nana 𝗭𝗶𝗺𝗰𝗆. Vakarwisana nevarungu vane mapfumo vachitaura kuti vana ngebhezhu vachibaya nemapfumo vachiridzirwa pfuti. Turikukundwa nana mbuya nehanda vakarwisana nevarungu nematombo nemasling ekudaya kwaGoliath. In a modern world like this, all our efforts are being thwarted by the military. We can no longer do a confrontation against the regime for failure to uphold the constitution of the country. The main organs of government are not even doing their job duties. Because vanhu vari kutodheerera kuti hatina zvatinoitwa nevanhu ava, takapedza nawo. Saka mwana ndakabvunza museni asi nhomba dzataibayiwa nechiswiti chataikandwa mukanwa cheche zvanga zviri zvekutipusa here. Because our generation tapusa wakomana. Tapusa zvinotyisa. Ukatarisa natural resources akaita segold aringobuda achienda. Mhuka Mugabe aingotuta mhuka naivhori zvichibuda zvichienda. Hapana kana vanhu vaizvicharenja. Saka kutadza kuziva kuti tiri kupusa nei. I think so. Thank you, Mainunu. And the police and the soldiers are the most cowards. But these are now their relatives. They are now relatives. Vari kuti kana vakuchirekrutwa kuarmy, vanoenda kumusha nemotikari yearmy kunotora vazukuru, vana, vanani vese, vafudzi vemombe, chief vese, vekubaraini vese vanouya kunzi muarmy zhu. Kuti vachimukira hurumende yavo hazviite. Because they are the loyalists. Saka vana vavo kuarmy, vana vavo kupolice. Andoona. Taimbochema tikati hatina leadership. vachamisa vachibva vasimuka vakati ndiri pano inini, I am giving you the leadership that you want. And we've got a God-fearing leader in form of Nelson Chamisa. A lot of people are saying he should steer political instability in our country. I am saying no, that's not democratic. If we do our things in a pure democratic way that is being introduced by Nelson Chamisa, it is easy for you and me to take charge of that country. Zimbabwe yai 2023 inosunungurwa with the pure democracy, clean democracy.
I thought Ashley was here.
No. Saka vachamisa ndada kupedza kuti baba Nelson Chamisa, you are our leader and you have always served the interest that we vested in you. You have always have the nation at heart. You have always spoken about the amenities of life in our country. You have always talked about the suffering of your children, because you are a leader. Muribaba vachamisa. Your children have suffered enough. Your children, we are suffering. This is why you always say God is in it. It's because you believe in God. And this, your leadership already has shown that it is from God. It is different from the malignant intentions of Emmerson Mnangagwa, which has spearheaded Zimbabwe into poverty. What I'm saying is, you are a global political player that Zimbabwe has been waiting for. ZANU-PF's rule has proved fatal, has destroyed democracy in our country. Every Zimbabwean's eyes are on you, Nelson Chamisa. Your leadership, as my brother Colin Guature just commented here, your leadership is blessed by God. So, we are looking to you for political stability, for social stability, for economic stability, and religious stability. I know you are a God-fearing man. Hakuna kuchazonzi mapostori for Chamisa. Azvife zvakaitwa new government ya President Chamisa izvozvo. The setup of your government, as I believe, when it is influenced by God, we will definitely do away nezvekuti mahure for Chamisa, mbavha for Chamisa, mhondi for Chamisa. Akusina zvakadaro. We are not going to witness that in Zimbabwe. That means there will be political freedom. And it manzo. Baba Chamisa. Hero bas. Ma citizens in Zimbabwe abvuma. Kuti mutungamirire. Andi murugunzo. Mapiwa zvese nevana veZimbabwe. Kunzi Baba Chamisa masi tungamira Zimbabwe. You have shown the people of Zimbabwe that you are a capable leader. Since I started knowing about Chamisa in 1999, I've never seen you faltering. Never in a day. I've never seen you faltering. I've seen good leadership in you, which has made me confident that you are the only capable leader at this juncture to take over control of Zimbabwe and be the custodian of the constitution of Zimbabwe. And musakana achitaura nhasi ndakuda kupedza kuti daidzai Jonathan Moyo mutage pano ndimudzise politics. Ndamudzisa politics. Could the political system that is being introduced by Nelson Chamisa, it's a very good political system that will ensure that citizens of a country participate in the law making and all procedures relating to investment in our country. People will be at the forefront. It's a political system that has allowed Zimbabweans to govern. Andimona. Saka tiri kutaura tichiti vachamisa hero basa. Vana veZimbabwe vese vabvuma kuti imimi vana veZimbabwe vari kuti we are going to protect this political system that we have introduced. It's the first of its kind in SADC. People are being shocked now. Vari kuvhunduka. Ndakaona vachimaka fomu riya rakanyorwa zvavasinganzwisise. Vachibvunza kuti what is this? Why this? Because they have never seen it anywhere. Andimona. Vajaira kuti ivo they have got a totalitarian government that they have introduced to the people of Zimbabwe. Asi vana veZimbabwe vati kwete. Because their system of governing as ZANU-PF is repressive. The society is very unfree. You cannot participate in politics usina kutemwa nemamachets. Kunoungana kuti mutaure politics motemwa nemamachets. That means the country is under the rule of dictatorship. Emerson Mnangagwa is a dictator. There is no freedom in our country. This is why the people of Zimbabwe, they've consented with Vachamisa Baba Torai Matum. Because we don't want your government to control everything. No. Let the people control their aspects of life. What affects people, they must control. They must have a say. Because now you have shown that you are a very good leader. You have allowed the citizens of Zimbabwe to directly participate in selecting their own leaders who are going to be voted in August this year. Thank you, Mkoma Jones. Thank you so much. Chamisa has valued every citizen. Amusina mnanonzi common people or a common person. No common people mnikamedu. Everybody has been given primary powers to select. System I said system. I said it has shocked ZANU-PF. It has shocked Varakash. It has shocked Vana Jonathan when my professors were shocked by this system. There is no one anonzi who is common person. Everybody is very important in the system. And everybody has been given primary powers to participate. Choose. Choose. Munu wa mnoda utakumirire in parliament. Andimona. Unozodei. Kana ukataura hako munhu chauchada chi. Akusina, there is no any other political party that can give you this freedom that Chamisa has given you. Read all political books in the world. You will never hear anywhere in the world where a political party allows citizens to dictate the pace. This has even shocked journalists. This has even shocked Varakash. Mnangagwa is in a state of shock right now. He doesn't know how to deal with the 𝗶𝗶C. You guys, munokosha imi. Munokosha. Mukatarisa zvaitwa naChamisa izvi zvinoera, zvinokosha. Kana usingakwanise kuzvitevera izvozvo, we are not communists. What I like about it is we are not communists. Because a communist system which we grew up in ZANU-PF is an authoritarian system. Animona. Because what is socially, economically, everything, you know, established communist system, you know, it's a dictatorship. So we don't want that. We want a system where people are given a choice, are given powers, primary powers, to make choices of everything that affects them. And more, we cannot answer my elections. I don't want to ZANU. Let's not imitate ZANU-PF. But their elections, they are held as usual. But if you look at it, my affairs are, my elections are, they are my lights. People in the ZANU-PF, they gain their powers probably from the military. But vanotongwa from up going down. Vachamisa vati handikwanise kudaro, ndoda kutongwa nevanhu vari pasi, vachindituma vachindiudza zvekuita, ndimi chandituma. Handiti maona. Regai ndipedza wako mana. Ndangopedza nokupa yangu ka definition ke democracy. Ndobva ndaenda zvangu. Kuti democracy, it's a Greek word. Hachisi chirungu democracy, a Greek word. Mukanzwa kana Jonathan mwe vanonzwisisa sterek democracy, vataurira kuti munonyepa. That word emanated from Greece. It's a Greek word. Being a Greek word, rine two words which were combined together. Two words which were combined together. Because demos is Greek for the masses of the people. The masses or the people. Could demos. It's a Greek word for the masses. Wanu vanu. Demos vanu. The people. Vanu. Kratos is the rule. So democracy becomes the rule of the people. No, akana ukaenda kanyora politics dzakaita sei panyika. Ukangonyora definition yandiri kukupa yoyo, any professor anokumakira assignment yako, you get 100%. Kuti demos means the people. Kratos means rule. Rule by the people. No definition of democracy yet. That is why professor wauye panapa tivadzidzise politics. Kuti democracy means rule by the people. This is why pakaiswa form area ne-CCC. That form alone, it will give powers to the people. Then automatically that system becomes a democratic system. Because the form is designed to give you choices. There is the mass. Chakaivanhu venyu vanosuta izvi. Kuti vanokwana kuti vanzi democracy. So that formula is enough to implement the pure democracy. It is giving you powers to decide as people. You can do it by vote. You can do it by consensus. It is still democracy. Haisi imposition. Naizwa Marakashi vachichema kuti Chamisa is imposing candidates. Hakuna imposition in a form rakadaro. Never. You can never see a candidate being imposed. Ashinzi, ano criteria, ano suta ere. Saka, people, you are by consensus allowed to choose your representatives, which is still, you can choose from demos, from the people who are going to implement the Kratos, the rule. And the system becomes democratic. The system is democratic to hell with you. Because the people of Zimbabwe, the citizens, are allowed to directly choose a person of their choice. Manzwa. So, ZANU-PF, it utilizes the ancient Western style of democracy. ndosaka manhu aitaura vachamisa yavaintroducer iyi ichazotanga kukopwa nedzimwe nyika. Chamisa will go down into the book of Guinness as the first person to implement pure democracy in Zimbabwe. So what does that mean? It means 𝗵𝗶𝗇 is now emphasizing the role of the citizen, looking at your equal rights, your duties to engagement as citizens of a country that will eventually lead to rule of law. Because akatanga ku respect the will of the people, ari background paari Chamisa will oversee the majority rule and the rule of the law, which is cornerstone of a good nation. We are seeing more better ideas from 𝗵𝗶𝗇. Hakuna imwe party ya mchada. Because ukatarisa kuZANU-PF, these people are associated with a post-era political system. They focus on elite groups. Chef, those zviri kuZANU. Ukaenda kuZANU kunonzi chef. Ukaenda kuTriples toti President Chamisa hakuna chef. Saka, we are a different political party. We differ from ZANU-PF. That ZANU-PF, it focuses on elite people. Kanzwa even wana chiyango wachitaura nemari dzavana dzanonga vachingoti chef, vachitaura munhu chef munangagwa. Hanzi kuona chef wane mukadzi wako, unongoti mapedza here chef. Vosunza vobuda wavaperekedza. Ameno Eustace mpana wangu anambokutaura nhasi, nganimbokutaura ndimbokubvunza. Kuti zveshuwa wakaona iwe munangagwa nemukadzi wako unosvika uchiti kuti chef mapedza here. Wotomuperekedza kuenda kumotikari yake, you don't ask him kuti wanga uchitei nemukadzi wangu. Eustace, come on. I'm asking you. Ndo chishefu chatiri kutaura ichocho. Hauchiwane kuTRIPLE-C. Hauchiwane kuTRIPLE-C ichocho. Hauchiwane kuTRIPLE-C chishefu. Hauchiwane Eustace. Because izvozvo zvekunzi ungatara kuti Owen Mudang'iwe aita minister weMasiaiwo, honestly. Kana waita ranzi Chamisa endozi. Chamisa has got nothing to do with the process. For your own information, President Chamisa has nothing to do with the process. Akatopuwawo fomu iroriya kunzi iri fomu ndo riri kushandiswa kutsvaga presidential candidate. Arikutokondeswawo Chamisa and all. Saka tikutaura kuti kwenyu kuZANU-PF Eustace, ukaona munangagwa achibuda mubedroom mako, kana ari mubedroom mako unodongorera umuona ari busy, wotovhara dhoo wombomira panze. Apedza wobuda manje kuti chef maright mapedza, womuperekedza. Pana wangu Eustace, wandipedza manje. Kuti unodongorera dhoo namukadzi wako ari busy nachef ovhara. Wozoti chef mapedza here, ubuda wovaperekedza kumotikari yavo. You don't ask him kuti hey, but chef why? KuZANU kwakaoma. Hamuri pataiti mafero. Yeah? Boss kunaura nemonopoly over your wife, man. Yeah? Problem yenyu kuZANU, create a center of power. This is what President Chamisa is preventing in 𝗵𝗶𝗇. We don't want to create a center of power in 𝗵𝗶𝗇. Chamisa has even given himself for contest. He spearheaded formation of 𝗵𝗶𝗇. But 𝗵𝗶𝗇 yapo. But this is a citizen project. And I'm there to be contested as well. Hakuna chef mapedza here. At all. But chef mapedza does not even promote equality. At all. Zaka munenge munikopedza wakomana. Ndakati nezvirwere zviriko munenge muchinamana chete muchizadzana muchinamana. Because chef chiangwa richibuda masonge kari yavi richibuda mba mako chitaura chef mapedza here. Vanhu vaiva they are irresponsible. We cannot trust our country in the hands of ZANU-PF anymore. Their administration is shake. We should never trust our hands in those people. vanhu vasina ma-social morals vaive uri kuona nezvi uri kuona kuti what they did is to remove all ma-obligation towards citizens. Ma-citizens eZimbabwe havacharombozive kuti as a citizen chii chaunofanirwa kuchiita. Andoona ndosaka uri kuona 𝗵𝗶𝗇 President Nelson Chamisa vari kutaura kuti let's have a political education to our people. ZANU-PF doesn't want that. It just want to instigate corruption. And corruption which does not make them very good citizens. Most of them are walking prisoners. Mabandita ari kufamba kuzano aya. Ari kufamba kuzano. Saka nyaya apa ndeyekuti iwewe neni Eustace as a generation which failed. Let's start mobilizing our generation. Tisiye nyika iri maoko evana. Tisiye nyika iri maoko evanhu vakanaka. Although it may take long, my brother, let's mobilize people to vote for 𝗵𝗶𝗇. Tobvisa post-war era chigandiranga chibude muvanhu tivake nyika yedu. Because ZANU-PF with its immoral practices will never see Zimbabwe develop. Their members are just loyal to certain individuals in the ZANU-PF, not loyal or patriotic to the country. Pakuda vanhu vari patriotic vakaita sesu vekuti tikaona chakashata whistleblower hatinyarari tochitaura kuti chakashata ichi. Tibvise madhimoni ezanu, madhimoni ezANU-PF. Andoona saka ngatibatsirane guys. We need to hand power to rightful people who will see Zimbabwe develop. Let's vote vanhu vari kutoziva kuti ava vachavaka nyika yedu vane mapolicies ekuvaka Zimbabwe, kwete mapolicies ekufatena their pockets, kwete mapolicies eku make sure they promote violence in every election. Ngazvipere izvozvo. Takanzwa president waizari is receiving 200,000 appreciation fee which is bribe. Izvozvo must never happen muZimbabwe yatiri kuda kutaura. Andimona chiregai ndipedze mupana wangu Eustace anozochema ndiriwora iro vanogara mudiriwo ndiriwora rembanje vanogara mudiriwo ndiriwora iro vanogara mudiriwo ndiriwora rembanje nogara mudiriwo vakomana vanogara mudiriwo ndiriwora rembanje nogara mudiriwo musatambe navo vanogara mudiriwo ndiriwora rembanje vanogara mudiriwo ndiriwora vakomana ndiriwora rembanje vanogara mudiriwora vanogara mudiriwora vanogara mudiriwo vakomana vanogara mudiriwo ndiriwora regai ndonokushta guys, because as we know democracy has suffered a lot in our country, and democracy will continue to suffer if we don't vote the pioneers of pure democracy. Well done, President Nelson Chamisa. The seeds of great democrat that you have sowed will definitely grow into a very strong tree. Zimbabwe will see the seeds that you have sown today. You are the pioneer of pure democracy in our country, which is the complete code of our life, the complete code of Zimbabwe. All aspects of politics are collectively covered by you. You have shown Zimbabweans that you know the basic pillars of democracy. You are the pioneer of pure democracy in Zimbabwe, and you know the basic pillars. You have consulted the people. What system do you want to use? And as Zimbabweans, we came up with our systems, a justice system which will ensure equality, and there is accountability, everything is transparent. And you have allowed yourself to be questioned so openly. You have allowed yourself to be criticized. I've seen a lot of 𝗵𝗵𝗺 supporters being intolerant to the president when they criticize, but our president has allowed that because he is the pioneer of pure democracy. Well done, President Nelson Chamisa. Well done. You have made vamwanongwa varuza hope in politics to offer themselves for selection in this election. Even vamwe varuza kuti our chances now izvazve vanhu zvasiyana nezvanatsvangira nezvanamonzora kazviya zvekuti paingoindozwa mafriends avo mahuri avo vachienda kunoita members of parliament and so forth zvasiyana. Izvi zvakubva kune vanhu manje. Some people vakufila heat. Each member who is selected by the majority to represent 𝗵𝗵𝗺, please go in parliament and work for 𝗵𝗵𝗺. Tozonzwa makunzisave mototera zvoda monzora mukadzingwa muparliament muchabhadhara neTV yekuTV sezenda haya. Amai vajava ndakati amai achihure chinovauraya. Sorry guys. Good night.